the first to know. Nsem-Pii TV.
Sir, Yebekaya Abatono Ebano Ewie NDC supporters Ebusuafo enye Asem Kotwa enye EC officers ahodo a one etimi ahye no enye Asem Kotwa de one assign aseno enye Asem Kotwa ni nyina ene se John Dramani Mahama ne NDC amanyuko no edinkunim na recently crowd de kokoye ne se uye DC na wo ho ane aba wona wafa abanye japade no oka akra na siwa na etukọ sa na ebeka ya won ekoko bowura ye maame esela osufie ekose ese ne nioma ka esiwo nyina won etukọ ya aprosifo ensa akana sa ye nyina na adwen se ye NDC amanyuko no supporters nko a abusuafo enye NDC amanyuko no supporters nko a nipa a ono edi won anim a wo ye sa nioma we mo direction nyina eye Joseph Yamin ena edi anim na edian ena Joseph Yamin edi anim a one busuafo ena nya Asem Kotwa Omanhene kwabna santen so kasafa na de yenko ne yenko tie de afa de leader Yamin
kind of lawlessness
and
how people assume that
anything
Alpha and Omega, you know. Have you forgotten that transient and obviously wabent, you know, unkubi mana. You know,
4-year term.
Yeah, we cannot do that at the expense of Ghanaians.
Yeah.
I am running and a certain posturing bia politicians ninya so munya tumia. I so sad. Also, the major challenge that is facing us as a country is the mental orientation, is the lack of principle, and the issue of say, a country of rule of law. Maybe this is rule of law, no so. They can't say acting based on emotions and you know you do me, I do you. All these while, that's what we've been doing. The last time I was here, that was Monday. The bigger challenge that we face as a country, you know, who to start with, you know, and acquire problems here. Obiang and I just say, clean sheet has started say this country needs to be disciplined. This country needs to be principled, and then a certain orientation. Orientation now. Likewise, when there's power changer, the actions and inactions of some of the people is so much across the board.
And sometimes you wonder, say, for some of these supporters, say part in a crafted campaign messaging now. Do they understand? It is almost say resetting Ghana. Do they understand what it means by
reset
and do some of
with
these
the old things that we have done as a country
unbelievable.
And achieve the results that we are this thing now. What you are telling us is that it's the same old. Because you don't have any locals. Until say a bit to me, the system is already running.
Yes.
You still have that legitimate point as a citizen to do appropriate reportage to people that you think that can control the system.
Yes.
So Ghana is not for you.
The one who said you suspect a crime, you report to the police.
Simple.
And being a national organizer of a party,
simple.
The responsibility on you is onerous.
Simple.
You cannot do the OBIA.
Simple.
How do you enter the National Assay Center and think say a Juma here because you can put it to a halt? Are you crazy?
And we're all looking on. And this morning, not lawyer Chum and Kokofu, I asked them same question. They said, Mom, you're careful. Now you pretend to say all is well, and that is how we want to go. And I pity the young guys no more, both political parties now. Almost say, you are a joke. It will catch you up soon.
Yes.
No experienced or exposed politician and misbehave. He's been there before. He knows the in and out of power.
And for Yamin, who is being a minister of state before, a minister of state.
When people move into action and because Makande Biazama Kaubi, Yenino, Yesusosu, Yenina principle, Yenina Dianzako share a year vigilantism kratasi. What are we witnessing? Everybody is saying that this is the norm. So are you saying that the next 4 years election, if we say the other side of the divide, no more so you need to electoral commission for no declare a result. They will say we are going into a ditch.
Yeah.
We are going into a ditch. And even our president-elect, who is your flag bearer, is saying that the task ahead is enormous. No matter what, my biggest priority, I hear my partner say, Obi biara wa for or manager padi and nisika kwashe baby biano. And fantastic. The president has led it by putting a team together. What is your problem? Any suspicion that you have, any evidence that you have,
you
just pick
send
it up
to the team.
Because if you start on this note today,
And you,
now what time who for not to the baby,
and I think
then there will be some another also.
Yes.
And
I think we should be bold and say some of it. It is not good.
It's not good for the country.
If you plan on doing that, if you're already doing that, stop. Enya papa.
It's not good.
Omanhene statement we. The Precious Minerals Marketing Company, which by law acts as the national assayer, has noted with deep concern an incident that occurred at the National Assay Center located at the Aviance Cargo Terminal, where a mob led by a gentleman who identified himself as Mr. Joseph Yamin, the national organizer of the NDC, forcibly attempted to seize bullion bars being processed by PMMC for the Central Bank of Ghana. The incident occurred on Tuesday, 17 December, between the hours of 4 p.m., lasting till about 12 midnight.
How? And why? Why? It's a dynamic. The security system itself. I'm surprised. Such an area, no. Obiat minya access to such an area.
The National Assay Center.
Why? It is how omo picky. Send police intervention, whatever intervention. Maybe who's going to be held accountable? So only panic dia. We have the intelligence society there. We have the police service there. I'll bet me a draw my attention to barricade and make sure that the whole can say why are we doing this? Because what? We have power. That's not the way to go. Because if we are going to repeat the mistakes this administration has repeated well, fine. That's fine because it is also serving as a reminder to Ghanaians that now we are beginning to feel that Duka Diana, the same old now. We can't progress in this country with this attitude. Who on 120 day plan? Within that plan, Mwanka someone emphatic that any looted whatever piano, Monsishe Yemuno, Ubetuan and one recover all those things. Why are we doing this? What do you feel, Grandma? We have to show, Unamana show, Urahana show. Why? And why? Why?
People are alleged to have been at the airport a season for passport.
Why? It's so funny.
It's so funny. Under what authority? In a democratic country?
It's so funny.
Wow.
Why are we doing this? Why? And I mean, yes. Or show me, or to team and Passa or Fools, or Srimia, my family, likewise with Narcissus.
Of course.
This is the way we have to do. Because
the beauty of
because
politics,
if you don't do it like that, and beyond that, what can you do? Beyond that, what can you do? And then I'm catching Kukufu. When it turned, Dr. Kukufu. I feel Kukufu questions are being busan, any responses on the bar. That's exactly what you were doing. Until we get to a point where we all agree that enough of all these things that has happened. In fact, what is so good is that Abai when she shame, Osusu say Abai obey, then she shame, Osusu say, and you may be a Akoswa, Uncle Ye, I was Abai way, then she shame. Well, listen, no man. Or listening to Ayawas West, or listening to Nyoma Bebre. So clearly, so we are real Ghanaian. Now say NDC near. You know for sure that this government is not going to allow certain impunities to happen and to go scot-free.
They should also allow the system to run properly. Because the point is, if Udi Tumi Nsem without a court making an order, because who are renewed before court. Now court ni fix any pani a flight risk into obe season a passport. Obe season passport ni pani mean to coin. You don't need brute force to go and stand at the airport and assault people and all of that. Say, oh, kwajenko for passport a free Nsem. If you suspect, say, at the National Assay Center, BB koso illegal, for the gold be for baby enya. There are agencies of state who are mandated to deal with that. Untimi nkobong rao say gold yeah mode kwai ukosizi gold under what authority? Because you're a national organizer of a party that has won elections.
You don't have any locus.
Why should we allow some of these things?
You don't have any locus.
I think the system should be made to run. And it will take us to the next way about statement of Felix Kwachofosu issue here. A good start. I mean, people can have their disagreement as to the makeup of that committee, under what authority has that committee been put together, legal backing being a committee in a war, or more terms of reference, under what power and authority no juma. Of course, you can say it's some kind of a fact-finding committee.
Yes. Okay, the party NDC believes that among forward dance be brave or honoma.
Yes.
Media boom, nobody come attorney general Minister of Justice.
Yes.
No team there two and among our court. The party, you know, to me,
yes,
a party decision that
yes, gather evidence as much as possible.
Attorney general Minister of Justice. No even go to send it.
Yes. Yes. People should even understand, sir. And I've seen Amanfo, because of the names on the committee, you know, Amanfo are excited and all. But mind you, the committee is not a court of law. Omojuma is to gather evidence as much as possible.
Exactly.
Hand that evidence over to the future Attorney General and the office, the Special Prosecutor of the Republic of Ghana. Omone betimi aye further nhwehwemu no ma prosecute if necessary. Enti Amanfo enya botre. This committee is more of a fact-finding committee. Oh, evidence, Bia. You know them. Send it to them. Among other, say, Edwige Tamaklo, be Attorney General. Say, Dominic Ayen, be Attorney General. Once he seized with the evidence, on bit may assess, no, okay, when you're the court, where the qua any. And people should also be a bit modest in their expectations.
Of course,
one thing, throwing allegations about
there,
and one thing securing conviction in the court of law.
That's because we are not principled as Ghanaians and as politicians. This administration,
yes,
yes, Nyoma yeti ebra no more opposition as to the corruptible acts and behaviors of members of the previous administration.
Yes,
8 years in. Some to animal, some go to animal.
Yes. Yes.
So people should not even jump into that simple conclusion. And any mother, so Chirobi out there dance here, I am more convinced.
Yes.
Because more pie say, near the motiti wa bonting, near the moon. That's it will be on your dean, be things will fall in place. The chips will fall. So I have a difficulty why people are in such a rush. I have a difficulty. And again, Maka, we are still doing this. You cannot develop a country by intimidating or insulting to get the results that you want. It's not possible. You can't develop a country to that extent.
Yes.
You can't.
Yes.
You develop a country where rule of law, where fairness, where impunity, cut off.
Yes.
Where the law continues to be no respecter of assumasi and also maintain.
Sure.
Where you will not assume that because you have power, like what some people did in this administration, you are the alpha and the omega. Why? Mo Ghana mo bokakra. Mo ye tomu so aba mo mutumi say mo mra na mo medie de bia da only in this country. And when you vote people into power, instead of them to serve you, you become their servant.
Their servant.
How is that possible?
Yeah.
We can't get the change that we're looking for. There are a lot of things that goes into that basket of change. I shall say with me, I shall say with wow. The Ebeyan so more to me at baby no. Almost very effective in terms of their policies, in terms of directions, any do welfare. But you see, the same old things now all these years and believe that you change be a and believe that 24-hour economy no ebeye juma and believe that the national apprentices no ebeye juma bra onsesa wagine. You can't do the same thing.
Rexoma ye post be me husana amanfo be na etweche no say resetting Ghana also means changing our mindset.
But that has been your basic core.
Yes.
They be Adam Tramika. And I know Monday repeat no president. You know, and all ban the team policy. It's not done. The person will not even get there. I mean, no one can say, Benya, Quenya, Mensing Krati, Director General, Chief Executive, Minister, say. No, young Kasa, young businessman, no businessman all Ghana, don't I dodge it at Troy. Businessmen all Ghana and Mukunaivo with customs for Professor Most to the extent of port. I mean, for the currency, make Amalakramaya what? It tells you that the corruption system in this country, it didn't just start today.
It's systemic.
We need to find a long-lasting approach, a best solve, at least, a reasonable percentage for us. But the kind of things that we are doing, you do me, I do you. There for the cameras situation, where even now, public servants and civil servants know the total disrespect they are giving to their authorities who are exiting. Why? There's nothing going on at our public space again. When you go to our public services, there's absolutely nothing happening there. Who told you that? Who told you that? Discipline and Kasa break it down in this country. And at the bar, then we are going to call for national dialogue on how best we can help solve this place. No, Obi.
For more Monte, the statement is that preparatory team towards President-elect anti-corruption drive. It's a statement issued today, December 18th, 2024, as a preparatory measure towards the rollout of His Excellency John Dramani Mahame's promise to recover proceeds of corruption and hold persons responsible for such corruption accountable when he assumes office. A team has been set up to receive and gather information from members of the public and other sources on suspected acts of corruption. The team comprises the following individuals. 1. Honorable Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa, Honorary Chairman. Mr. Daniel Domelovo, former Auditor General. COP retired Nathaniel Kofi Boache. Mr. Martin Kwebu, private legal practitioner. And Mr. Raymond Archer, investigative journalist. Anti-corruption with Operation Recover All Loot as a major plank formed a core part of His Excellency John Mahame's policy platform in the 2024 campaign, and he intends to hit the ground running on these commitments. Signed, Felix Kwachiofosu, only a spokesperson for the Mahama transition team. We are working the lines. There are some few questions. The terms of reference for this committee. So where would you get to see them? Who would be funding the activity? And I think one of the questions the current majority leader, Alexander Kwame Afenyo raised, said, who would be funding this committee?
Party, no. Omoni swadi hu se omo pese omo boa no mo gi aban japade akodi baabi ni kwase ko aban sika akose baabi ni kwase ko party nankasa has a certain responsibility to sacrifice its time and money because how dance
to gather evidence as much as possible.
Boa no nyina no se mi kura mi ntimi fa so mesia no benten kokko
sure
minisa ahode nya okika this it can kura but the party na boa no wie na se de wasi aka no say
OSPO
eduji say ayeneni o say yi hwan o won ne betimi agina o their team of creme de la creme aka say well mo dia abade bandami anim ne we we tun senyanya ko pimo kwan fifo timi ahan we dia o de code ya ye betimi apima kwa even though ye nsu ye we betimi apima kwa me be di kwa say it's too early for us to be area for no I disagree. Because sebi say a party for an sponsor because they have a special interest and because it's a word they give to Ghanaians. So they are telling Ghanaians that even before they take over, their preparation is so ready and prim and proper. Say we are not now so no team no monkoye ho adwuma tempa na we no am be distract your focus because your onyoma bebreye Ghana for hwe anim say ye bema adwuma aba Omanhene-How Ghana for hwe anim say eto ahodo bi a dada na bi so ye share boss ye be ye for Ghana for hwe anim say ade ba ko adi enya eye ye dollar ho sensem ye be pria say dollar no e betima stable Ghana for hwe anim say enyuma kase any other opportunities 24-hour economy ediba no ediba. In fact, me share him say the broiler project will be revisited because a project bakwa na ebe buama Ghana for do na etimi fresh nkoko at a cheaper price. It's ready. I will.
So no find expression in the nkoko kitchen.
Yeah, but I know I'm saying. I've been a part of that. Yes. It was really moving on smoothly until change by that broiler project in Hangia because at that time, now Hannah Bichu was deputy and was in charge. Dr. Louisa Bichu and was in charge of that project. Where no more introduced that 60-40 regime because the capacity was not there.
Sure.
It happened here called Akati farms, here called Infun farms, here called Dako farms. Jefam could near Bayesa, China, Yababa, Yam1 who Jumana, Yeni Dako farms. Now, yet to me, I export that Ghana for so DB. Yabua Boris B.
Yes.
Boris B. and Kukono or Deba, anywhere Duaninti, Ubehunu, within 3 weeks or 4 weeks, say, Leia Jinawa, Ujinoko Bakas Grokuku, no, Tito from. And it was moving on. What was left was